us to the next topic, which is number 4, and that is your own personal brand. So you need to think about what is it that you want your brand to be. For me, for example, the brand that I've tried to cultivate is one of someone who helps small businesses and nonprofits create online training environments using video and online communities. Okay, so that's where my fire starts. That's really what excites me. And for you, you have to do the same thing. Spend some time thinking about what is it that floats your boat. What niche are you in? Who do you like to work with? What do you like talking about? In one of the community learning portals that I helped started, I actually have a little video that talks about creating your purpose statement. It's a paper and pencil exercise that I suggest people do when they ask me about which social networking technologies I suggest that they begin with. Ironically, I tell them that a paper and a pencil are 2 powerful technologies to start with that will help get them and you started with social networking on the right foot. I'll make sure to include a link to that video as well somewhere on the page in which I place this video. Now, I just want to be very clear about something. Your brand shouldn't necessarily be all about the thing or the things that you want to sell. So, for example, if you're a developer of training and web videos for online learning communities, your brand shouldn't necessarily be about getting paid to make web videos and developing training. Rather, it should be focused around who you are, what your interests are, and the things that you're expert in. In a nutshell, your brand communicates your values, your interests, and your passions. So earlier, when I said that the brand that I try to cultivate is of someone who helps small businesses and nonprofits create online training environments using video and online communities, I wouldn't want to build my brand around selling those services. Rather, I like to share with others in my network the values, the interests, and the passions that fire me up about that subject matter. So for instance, I might create a video like this and get that information out to people just because. The sales and revenue will happen when people are ready and have a need for those services. If you're passionate about your brand and your content, they'll remember you when it comes around. Now, just a quick word about what I said just now when I said when it comes around. When people in your network finally come around and express interest in your services, you should understand that they are then entering a different stage of the relationship with you. And that stage includes a customer service funnel, which we won't be talking about here in this video, but it is one of the topics that we'll hit upon in this training series that you should have a process for. Because let's face it, if you have no way to usher them forward through that funnel when they're ready to be ushered down that path, you may be viewed as a generous person now, but the reality is your ability to continue providing value to others through your generosity of information and content will be severely impacted by the realities of your ability to monetize those relationships in appropriate and acceptable ways. When they're ready to do business with you, you should have a process in place to do business with them respectfully, appropriately, and in a way that generates continuing trust. And we'll talk about that in one of the upcoming training sessions. Okay, so what I want to do now is just to wrap it up. Once you figure out your brand and your purpose, then you'll be able to start creating your content and value according to your own niche, your own values, your interests, and your passions. And then, armed with that, you'll be able to use the social networks to relate with people who share interests and needs in your special niche in a way that people you connect with can begin seeing you as an authority in that community. Okay, so we covered a lot in this first session. We talked about the importance of the philosophy of relationship building and trust that you want to start with. We also talked about where to find good content, as well as focusing on the relationships within your networks while keeping an eye towards the processes and realities of the business opportunities resulting from those relationships when your friends are ready to initiate that opportunity. And finally, we talked about the importance of your brand and how that relates to your purpose for engagement in social networks. All right, so that's it for today. Stay tuned for day 2 of this training series, and that will be coming tomorrow. Until then, remember, if you like this and are seeing the value in the training that I'm providing, please share it in your networks. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm looking forward to sharing more information with you tomorrow.